Uh, what's up, everybody? Jim Benson, the Viking Hobbit, back at you again with another episode. I'm down here in the Boonies, down here in Hawkinsville, and having a good talk with my buddy Devin Wiggins.
What's going on, y'all?
He's been lifting with us for a long time. He's one of the originals, especially from the back in the Sci-Fit days. And we're just going to let you hear a little bit of part of his life. See how it's going. So, tell me, Devin, who is Devin Wiggins?
So, I'm 22 years old. I've been powerlifting for right at 3 years now. I played high school football and went on to play college ball. Had a little taste of powerlifting. Family's big in it. And so, basically what I did is I ended up coming back home and start my powerlifting career with Dirty South Barbell, of course. And I grew up around y'all when I was at Sci-Fit, and it went off from there. So powerlifting is my main goal right now. Getting married this year, so that's a big plus. So just getting my life started and trying to put some big meets together.
Oh yeah. What's it like? I grew up in a small town too. What's it like growing up in a small town atmosphere?
Man, small town life is, to me, the best life because everybody knows everybody and everybody's looking out for you.
Yeah.
Then again, everybody knows your business too. So
true.
It's the same. I wouldn't change it for the world. You got a big support system here. Everybody, even though they may not understand it, they believe in me and trust in what I do. So.
Yeah. And one thing too, like small town, when you got a few people, that you grow up with, or
right.
The few people in your community that they try to really reach out and do something big, like
exactly.
You in the powerlifting world.
Yeah, we have Charles Johnson, the NFL player.
Yeah, Charles Johnson. I mean, everybody knows who he is, and stuff like that.
Yeah, to be such a small school, I graduated with 90 people. I think we had like 15 athletes go to college.
Yeah. Playing
ball, whether it be any sport, female or male.
Yeah.
So we produce a lot of good athletes down here.
Yeah.
They say the athletes are the best in the South. So.
Oh yeah. Well, all right. David's your dad. David's been with us a long time. David's also been in the strength world for a long time too.
For sure.
What was it like? As long as you can remember, growing up with somebody that's been in the strength world.
Man, I tell you, you don't realize how big, or I'm not bragging here, but how well known your family and your team is.
Yeah. Until
you grow up and realize, okay, we're one of the elite there is.
Yeah.
So, and that's not knocking our own heads, but my dad, he's retired from powerlifting now, but he did professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
He did competitive Highland Games. He was on the first USA team. He did semi-pro football. He went to compete for a bodybuilding show and realized that he got tired of eating like that and being that lean to let somebody judge him in a darn bikini. So he said he's going back to lifting heavy. But my dad's always been in competitive sports, and he got back in powerlifting, I guess about 10, 12 years ago now.
Yeah.
So, and he did some things that he wanted to do and did big numbers.
Yeah. Does seeing him have that competitive edge like make you really, even though you might have not went in the same path right off the bat, like because you started out in football pretty good,
exactly,
and that was your path for a while. Did that give you like the competitive edge to want to compete?
Yeah, my competitive edge is probably competing more in football because from a kid that's all I wanted.
Yeah.
Maybe I can make it to the league, and then it got where maybe I can make a college career out of it and get my tuition paid for.
Yeah.
What a lot of people don't know is I played 2 football seasons per season from the time I was in 6th grade to the time I was in 9th grade.
Yeah.
I played rec ball and all-stars with that and school ball.
That's right, I remember that.
So I did that 6th, 7th, and then 8th grade I was in middle school and I played up with the JV. I went and traveled to all these 4 and 5A schools, and here they are dressing 90 kids, and we've got 20.
Yeah.
And 5 of us are 8th graders. So
yeah.
I played double seasons. It was a big push from him though. It was always be the best that you can be.
Yeah.
If that's what you're going to be good at, be the best at that thing.
Mm-hmm. And then definitely, be the best, but put in your best.
Yeah, exactly. If you put in a little amount, don't expect a lot.
Yeah.
His big thing was, if you want to be let's see, a good tuba player.
Yeah.
Practice that and be a good tuba player,
Mhm.
but be the best at what you do.
Yeah.
Don't do something halfway.
Yeah, don't half-ass
No,
nothing.
don't half-ass anything. That didn't fly at the Wiggins house.
Yeah.
Don't fly.
All right, so you're growing up. You get to experience all these different things with your dad. You start getting into football. Well, what year did you start playing football?
I started playing football. Well, man, if you really want to count, I started playing at like the age of 4,
Yeah.
maybe 5.
Yeah.
With like flag football, and then we were in full pads at 7.
Yeah.
But then I played all through middle school into high school. I was a little undersized as far as height wise, but tried to make up with it with ability.
Yeah.
I know it's funny, but I blame my mom all the time. My dad's 6'4" or 5, and my mom's 5'3".
Yeah.
So being 6'1", I kind of got the shorthand of that.
Oh yeah. Now you pretty much, technically, you started lifting because of football, right?
Exactly. I got to watch a lot.
Yeah.
Watching y'all guys as a kid, even though y'all were like 8 or 10 years older than me, something like that.
Yeah.
I felt like y'all were so much older than me, but I watched y'all, my dad, and just seeing how to push your body. But my thing is I was lifting for football.
Yeah.
I would have a couple months strength training block where I'd come up and train some.
Yeah.
And but most of the time it was just helping y'all guys and training for football. So
Yeah.
conditioning work, all that jazz.
Yeah, and that's, like with me, that football is pretty much what introduced me to lifting weights.
Exactly.
Because you had to lift for to the summer and then the camps and the springtime and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then like I said before, like I lifted for that. Then I found out I got good at it, and I was actually real good at it.
Right.
So my attention started going towards the lifting part.
Exactly.
And then I finally, I tapered out on football.
I want to say I never hit like a really big growth spurt or anything. I just consistently grew, and I was ahead of the curve, of course, because of my size.
Yeah.
But then again, people caught me.
Yeah.
So then my ability and my work ethic had to show through that. But in high school, it really showed up that I pushed myself very hard in the off season.
Yeah.
I can remember me and my dad got in a huge argument one day because I told him, I was like, quit being my coach.
Yeah.
You're my dad. And of course, I was 15, 16 years old. I know it all. But then again, he was being a life coach.
Yeah.
Doing the best. And he didn't back down.
Yeah.
He shut his mouth for a little while, but then he came right back at me and was like, you should have done this, this, and this.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. Yeah. So.
But the way he was able to explain it,
of course,
it made a lot of sense.
Your family, you're the first to jump on them.
Yeah.
But they always gonna have your back.
Oh yeah.
Same like lifting partners. You may blame him for something, but then again, he saved your life a million times.
Oh heck yeah.
So, the thing, me and my dad had a really good relationship, and we may butt heads sometimes, but he's my number one supporter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he pushed me very hard, but I told him, playing at a smaller school, we still won many state championships, region titles. We were a powerhouse back in the day. But he told me going in 9th grade, he's like, son, you got to step up. You got to make up your mind whether you want to sit the bench.
Yeah.
And I've never sat the bench before.
Yeah.
Or play. And so going into spring and summer camp, I was like, hey, I got to dig in and do what I need to do.
Yeah.
And it was the second of 5 or 6 day camp. I was a starting center at 14 years old for a varsity high school football team.
Yeah.
So that just shows that the work ethic.
Yeah. Some part of it was given to you because you're a size.
Exactly.
But you still got to definitely put that work in.
You got to put the work in. I think I was 5'11" and a half, 220 pounds as a freshman, 225 maybe.
Yeah.
I was just, I was lucky enough to be smart enough and to have the talent to back it.
Oh yeah.
But I grew with it. Yeah, I grew 25 pounds a year.
Yeah.
Every year I was in high school. So.
Oh heck yeah. Shoot, I remember watching you. You come in sometimes. I say you come in every now and then, and all of a sudden you take a little bit of break. Yeah. And you come back and like, what the hell?
Yeah.
What have you been eating?
It's like looking at my brother now. My brother's 16. He's 6'3", 310 pounds.
Yeah.
It's like, bastard, you got all the fucking height.
Well, heck, I remember within a year the start of that year, I was taller than him.
Yeah, and
which ain't saying much.
He
but
put like 5 inches on you or something.
Heck yeah, I'm like, and then by the end of the year, hey, down here, down here.
Yes, I was 5'11", 5'11 and a half going in freshman year, but by the time I graduated, I was 6'1" and a half. I measured 6'2" one time.
Yeah.
But, so my college career was limited to height, but I made the best of it.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. All right. You could play all 4 years. You started all 4 years.
Yeah, I started all 4 years.
Yeah.
I played in, I think, added up one time, 46 games.
Really?
Yeah, I missed 2 games because of concussions.
Really?
Concussion protocol. So.
Okay.
And
it was because I remember going to see your senior year. Y'all went pretty far.
yeah, made it to the semis.
Yeah.
And that was the furthest we had made it since our back-to-back state championship year, which I don't think anybody in the state could have beat us that year.
Yeah.
We were just that talented.
Yeah.
We had like 5 guys signed D1 big schools.
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
But we made it all the way to the semis, and we lost a tough one. So, but that was the light at the end of the tunnel, because that was when I was telling that, like, I started doing strength sports.
Yeah.
Like powerlifting.
Yeah.
Strongman training. But
now, like, during your run in high school football, which is also about the same time we was at SciFit,
Yeah.
back in the day.
yeah, I think we were. Yeah, I was like 12 or 13 when I first met y'all at Joe's. And I would come up if I didn't have schoolwork, or I'd do it in the truck, or do it at Joe's,
Yeah.
in the back room or whatever. I'd come and just video, and that was when we had the old video camcorder. I'd set up there on the leg extension up in the corner,
Yeah,
because the place
yeah.
was so small.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And I was literally like 6 foot up in the air videoing, but that was all I could do for the first year.
So, all right, what was it like? You're a young kid. You coming into this place, this exclusive club.
Yeah, for sure.
Of a group of guys. We're in the back of a supplement store. Packed full of weights and stuff, and everybody's lifting pretty big numbers.
Oh yeah.
Because at that time, for SciFit and the way it was ran, you had to have pretty decent numbers to even start.
Well, I guess my dad still trained hard, but how he got back into powerlifting or heavy lifting in general was, I was being a lazy 10, 11-year-old kid sitting on the couch. He was like, "Get your ass up, we're going to a powerlifting meet." I was like, "What's a powerlifting meet?"
Yeah.
And I think the first time I saw somebody bench like 550 or something, they were in a single ply shirt or something up there at Fitness Extreme.
Yeah.
Riverside.
Actually, if I ain't mistaken, that's the first time I ever seen you and David. I want to say.
I think Gonzo lifted.
Yeah, Gonzo lifted that one.
Butch did, I think, maybe.
Mary
did.
Yeah, Mary
Kane did.
Yeah, exactly.
She pulled like 405 that day.
Yeah,
I think
she was going for Kim Allen's record.
That's right. But that was like one of the first lifts I saw, and he was like, "See how hard they had to train to do this."
Oh yeah,
I was like,
and that
crazy.
And that at that time, Mary was actually training with us at SciFit.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. So then, of course, he knew everybody there because he's from Macon.
Yeah.
We live about 45 miles south of Macon, but he knew everybody that was there, and he was like, "I know this person. We're shaking hands with everybody." And I think that was the day I met Joe DeVere, when I was like, "This crazy old biker dude," and then he's got abs through his shirts. Like,
Yeah.
What? He's got a gun on his hip.
Man, I remember
Bullets.
I remember the first time I ever seen David was at that meet.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm over in the crowd with, I can't remember who I was sitting with, or I was standing, and all of a sudden I see this tall ass dude, big dude walking through. I'm like, who the hell is this guy walking through? I'm like, who is this dude?
And at the time, I think he was like 300.
Yeah.
295 to 305, just doing some training with me. Like, I remember him benching probably 455, 500 every now and then.
Yeah,
He would just rep 315 to 405 because I was the only one in the gym with him.
Yeah.
And my little brother was 5 or 6, and that's when he did it to that 135, and
That's
it went
right.
viral.
Oh yeah. They made all kind of memes about that one.
Yeah. But that was the first time I met everybody, and I think it was like 2 months later, Joe was like, "Come up and train."
Yeah.
And I think
because David was wanting to start to get back into it, wasn't it?
Yeah. He just his strength was good.
Yeah.
And he had laid off a little bit because he had done the Highland Games. Of course, raising 2 kids.
Yeah.
You know, having his own business. Just busy life. But yeah, that's when I came and met everybody at SciFit. And I guess when you don't know any better and you're seeing gym lifters and then you see that, you know, I learned that SciFit was normal.
Yeah.
So anything outside of SciFit was just abnormal.
Yeah.
Didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So on Wednesday night when you're seeing a 500 to 800 pound bench,
Yeah.
that's a normal Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Or Tuesday, whenever
And
it was.
it kind of, and me and Big Joe talk about it all the time. You know, you're around this certain atmosphere for so long, you get jaded to certain things.
Exactly.
And in a bad or good way, it's crazy how it works, though.
Yeah, for sure. But like I said, you know, I grew up in, you know, around all y'all and Ronnie and Shane, Silas. Butch was on his way out a little bit as we come in. But, you know, Joe DeVere would make me just sit in the corner and video for a year.
Yeah.
I think I was 13, right before I turned 14 was the first time I could load a plate.
Yeah. And
that's when I'd spot up to 315 and then I'd get out of the way.
Yeah. And one thing that helped is he knew who your dad was.
Right.
He knew what, even at that time, you showed a pretty good maturity level even for your age at that time.
Exactly.
So he was more acceptable of, all right, he can help out.
Right.
You know.
Right.
All right. I know he can handle. You know, he's a big kid, knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Has been taught well. He can help spot us to this amount of weight.
Yeah, I think it took about 2.5 years before I even trained.
Yeah.
So I would just go up usually and do schoolwork and then video for y'all or whatever it may be, and then I think the little blue rack or whatever it was, maybe it was a Smith machine. You know, I did some squats over there, and
that's right.
Y'all helped me deadlift a couple times.
Yeah.
But I may have benched after y'all a few times up there, but most of the time I was just learning.
Yeah, you was learning.
Being a student.
But at the same time, your main focus was, of course, football.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And then now as you doing your football career, your brother Chandler, he actually, you know, as a young kid, he actually decided, it's like, hey, I want to do this.
Yeah, my brother has I'm a determined person, but my brother's a pissed off determined person.
Yeah.
You piss him off, he's just gonna prove you wrong every time.
Oh yeah.
And I think he was 5 or 6, and he deadlifted 135. He just yanked it up, and then he got addicted to it then. But my brother played all sports. It's not like he just did that. He lifted like that for like 2 months out of the year.
Yeah.
And volume stuff, shoulder press, you know.
Yeah.
Machine type work. But I think he was like 9. He squatted 308.
Yeah, I see. I remember his first competition was at 8.
Yeah, he squatted like 230 or 245, and deadlifted about the same, I think, and benched like 95 pounds or something.
I think he just broke 100.
Maybe, yeah.
No, wait. I think it was about 9 or 10 and just broke 100 pounds.
You ask him, he can tell you right now.
Oh, yeah.
I think at 9 he did the 308 pound squat.
Yeah.
He did 315 in the gym, and I think that was the meet that Dad told him, said, no, you're not doing a competition. He was like, but I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
He's like, no way, you hadn't even trained 2 weeks. He was like, take me to the gym.
I'll do it.
And they did a mock meet on like Thursday, warmed him up. He squatted 315, warmed him up, he benched whatever.
Yeah.
And I think he pulled 245 like it was nothing.
Oh, yeah.
And goes to the meeting, kills it.
Yeah, he does, and puts on a show too.
Yeah.
I think he looked at my stuff too much.
Yeah. Obviously, because he had your old singlet on, and then he's watching you bounce around doing your crazy thing. It's like, this kid's crazier than Junior.
Yeah.
What?
How did this happen?
He drops the bar and he just starts vibrating across the floor, screaming, yelling.
Yeah. So, all right, your dad's, got back into the sport of powerlifting. Your brother decides he wants to do it.
Right.
All right, you're over here doing your thing in football.
Yeah.
What does it feel like to, not so much do your thing like.
Yeah, watching them do strength.
Yeah, watching them perform together, and then you're doing your little thing.
It never bothered me because, when we'd come up there and train heavy once a week, and then the other times we were here. So I was still training with them.
Yeah.
The same time. It was just different rep ranges and things like that. But I never felt left out. I was just like, one day I'll do that. But as right now, my goal is
football.
this.
Yeah, I got you.
Like I said, at 13 or 14, I said college football.
Yeah.
You know, that was my goal.
Yeah.
And whatever to get to college football is what I'll do. And after that, we can do whatever.
Yeah, I got you.
So, and looking at my dad being older, because I think, let's see, he did pro wrestling from like, I think it was like 30 to 35, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Yeah, because right before I was born, and then right after, well, it might have been about 38, and then he did it Highland Games from like 37 to mid 40s, and then he took like a 5 or 7 year break, come back right around 50, and that's when he started that powerlifting.
Okay.
But he did a lot of heavy training, you know, his mid 30s or whatever.
Yeah.
But watching them out, it didn't bother me because I got to see. We all got to push each other.
Yeah.
And that was our thing.
Well, you took it, I guess, you know, some people could take it as, well, fine then, I'll just go do my own little thing.
Yeah.
You took it as a positive thing.
Yeah, it was my support system.
Yeah, your support, and plus, while you're doing your thing, you're still watching and learning.
I'm right there with them.
Yeah.
I'm right there with them. So it was a good family thing, and we trained, and we still train together.
Yeah.
My brother's now on the football kick, and I'm on the powerlifting kick.
Yeah, y'all were kind of
My dad's on the recovery kick coming back. So it's, even though life may be totally different than what we're doing, we're all right there.
Oh yeah, it comes full circle.
Oh, for sure.
All right, so you know, you pretty much you get through with high school, you decide to take a venture in the college ball.
Yeah.
Tell us about going to Kennesaw.
So, of course, I was from a small school, like I said, and I had opportunities to go places, but like small town. And I'm going to a D1A school, a FCS school, Kennesaw State, and start up a brand new program. Some of their coaches come from Tech, and they recruited me really hard, and I really loved the place. And I had done, we got done with football season, and I didn't realize how, in high school, like when we lost in the semifinals, I didn't realize how tired I was.
Yeah.
I was mentally and physically drained because here we are, just played 13, 14 games, and it's running behind me 85% of the time.
Yeah, because you're pretty much the biggest kid on the team.
I mean, we had two linemen like 250 pounds, and our guards that were beside us were 180 pounds.
Yeah.
And we'd run behind me 85% of the time, and it just, my head got tired.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize it, but going into the spring before I graduated, I did some powerlifting, and that's the first time, one of the first times I got in a shirt.
Yeah.
I put on what was that old red shirt that AJ Roberts had?
Shoot. Oh, that old shirt? Yeah.
AJ had, then Shane had.
Yeah.
And then somehow it ended up in my hands.
Yeah.
And I think I did like a 500 2 or 3 board. We're like, whoa, you know.
Yeah.
That's totally different.
And I remember pretty much your first heavy squat, you know, you come up one day while we was in the shed.
Yeah, that's when we went in the shed.
And you put your squat suit on and you put 800 pounds on your back.
It was a, half squat or 3/4 squat, whatever, however you want to call it. But I put 800 pounds on my back, and
you went, what, 18?
No. Yeah, I just turned 18.
Yeah.
And, heck, I think 2 weeks before that I put 655 on my back.
Yeah.
And we were down here and we walked it out, and Dad was like, next week we're going to go up and squat at juniors.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So, yeah, the first time I put 800 pounds on my back, I'm like, okay, I'm addicted.
Yeah.
That rush is...
The iron butt hit you right there.
Yeah, it tore me up.
Yeah.
And so, I was always around the group. Everybody was, that's our family, but I grown up in that.
Yeah.
And to be one of the lifters putting that amount of weight on our back, versus instead of seeing you or Shane or Silas or whoever it was put that weight on their back, now it's me.
Yeah.
And that opened my eyes to everything. But then, we had to be careful about how we posted it and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't want to get in trouble lifting, But I went off to play ball, and it just ended up not being a good fit.
Yeah.
I was physically tired.
Yeah.
If anybody says football's for fun in college, they're a fool.
Oh, yeah.
I had a 14-hour schedule.
Mm-hmm.
It was more.
And it all revolved around.
Yeah, and it was all ball.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things, and then the shed was halfway home.
Yeah.
For me, right off 75. So on Fridays, I'd come home, stop, lift with y'all,
Yeah.
and then come on home.
Yeah.
And man, it just, I don't regret anything I did, but that opened my eyes.
It's like it's big. It's big.
College football, people don't understand the amount of work that goes into it, but I respect everybody that can do it for you.
Yeah. That's I mean, take us through like a normal, just like a day.
So when I was up there, I think we had mandatory dining hall at 6 a.m., which was about 10 minutes across campus from me, and no easy way to get there.
Yeah.
This place has hills everywhere, and walking just killed you.
Oh, I bet.
So we would jump in the back of somebody's truck, and they would just drop us off, and you had to weigh in every Friday. I had trouble gaining weight, and they were running the mess out of it.
Because they want everybody at a certain weight.
Yeah. But we had mandatory meetings, and like 30 minutes to eat. 6:45, you had a meeting with your position coach over at the offices, which were another couple miles. And then I think we met for an hour, so we got about 7:45. You had to be on the field at 8:30, and you had to drive 3 or 4 miles, couple red lights, in downtown in Kennesaw.
Yeah.
And so you had like 20 minutes to walk a mile to the practice field. So it was a bang, bang, bang schedule. Practice for 2 hours or whatever it was, 2.5 hours. But then I had class. So from 8 to 10, and by the time you get out, get dressed, 10:30, 11 o'clock, I had an 11:30 class.
Yeah.
So now I'm surviving off Cliff bars and protein bars and shakes. And I've eaten at 6:30 and it's 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I'm in class. I'm sweating to death.
Yeah.
I'm trying to rehydrate. So then you go eat real quick, and you got class again.
Yeah.
And class again. And you get out, and you go to study hall. Or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Or you got therapy. We had I had to go to therapy a lot because, it just beat up. I mean, you go from, you think you're training hard to the way they were running us.
Yeah.
I was just beat up.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't handle it. My hips were, I never had hip issues.
Yeah.
Until then. Literally my hip flexors were just locked down.
Yeah.
I couldn't even stretch.
And with that type of schedule, of course, in the powerlifting world, or anything like that, strength world, the harder you push yourself and the stronger you get, the more body maintenance you got to do to recover from it. And
I was drinking 4 Pedialytes a week.
Yeah. Which probably wasn't even enough then.
No, it wasn't enough. 4 full Pedialytes.
Yeah.
I was spending so much money on Epsom salt and Pedialytes. It was crazy.
I bet.
Yeah, I had to eat it down the hall because of it. But
Well,
that's what it took to recover.
Oh yeah, and even with that, it still probably wasn't enough recovery.
No. But yeah, that was a total day. Then the study hall from 4 to 6, and that's 12 hours, 13 hours, and you've eaten 3 meals.
Oh yeah, and see, that's not enough.
Yeah, that's not enough. So I was eating Humor-Pro pills and taking shakes in the room, and I can remember, I don't know why, but when I get really fatigued, it's still to this day, milk is my favorite thing.
Yeah.
I love milk, and if they allow me, I drink a gallon a day.
Oh yeah.
There was a convenience store across from my apartments, and I go over there just about every 2 days and buy a gallon of milk.
Yeah.
I didn't give a crap how much it cost. It just helped me recover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can remember walking over there at like 12 o'clock at night because I wanted milk.
Oh yeah. Just craving it, wanting it. Yeah.
I had to go get it.
Oh yeah.
I had to go get it. But I had a short term there, and I decided to come on home.
So could you say, like, even though your thing was football, and you loved it, and you put everything 100% into it.
Yeah.
Go. Now, even though on the other side, you have, you actually grew up in the strength world,
right?
And watched it from a distance, and worked out in there here and there and stuff like that. Could you say, like, even though your thing was football at the moment, but deep down there was
There was something
there was a planted seed there that had been slowly growing.
There was something I was missing. There was something I was missing, and I felt the worst thing I felt because my brother would be so upset that I called home. I'm like, I'm coming home.
Yeah.
And here he is. He's looking up to me. We're 6 years apart.
Yeah.
He's looking up to me like, you can't. Why are you? You've never quit anything.
Yeah.
You've always been the best at what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you quitting? And
right. It's almost like I don't understand this.
He didn't understand it.
Yeah.
And I told my dad 2 weeks before I was done, I'm done. He was like, no, you're not. I'm telling you, I'm done. I'm shocked.
Yeah.
But I love football as a game, but I'm hating it as what it is.
Yeah.
And he got to terms with it and said, I just want to tell you something. You have one shot at this, and you don't want to have any regrets.
Yeah.
And I don't have one single regret.
Yeah.
But it sucked coming home, to a little brother that don't understand.
Yeah.
Because at the time he was 12, 13 years old.
Yeah.
That's all he knows.
Yeah. I kind of had the same thing, just on a smaller level. I played football in middle school, and of course, I got introduced to lifting from football. And then when I got ready to the 9th grade, I was on the 9th grade, starting to get into high school level. Of course, the intensity of everything picked up and everything. And I'm like, I finally got to the point where I'm like, you know what? This ain't fun no more. This ain't. I didn't want it as much as I thought I did.
Yeah.
And plus, on the side, I'm like, all right, I'm lifting weights.
Yeah.
All right, this is fun. I love this.
And that was the same thing.
And I'm getting better at it.
That was the same thing with me. Is my fiance now? She stayed up there in Kennesaw with me. She traveled everywhere I went, and I can remember mornings waking up, and she'd be like, "You've got to get up."
Yeah.
And I literally I'm one that once the alarm goes off, I'm up and going.
Yeah.
And it took everything I had to go.
Yeah.
I was done.
Yeah.
And but transitioning, coming back home, I had to find. My parents told me when they come home, you got to find something to do.
Yeah.
You got to find a career.
Mm-hmm.
Or something.
Yeah.
You're not coming home to not go to school.
Or
to not get a career.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at now. Is
you
almost have a career. And
now, when you first come home, you went to work for a little while.
Yeah. I did school. I went to college, and I just took it slow.
You just went to a little bit smaller.
Yeah, I went over here to Middle Georgia University, State, whatever it is now.
Yeah.
It's 15 minutes from my house, and I got in the rest of my core stuff, and just figure out what I want to do.
Yeah.
So the first semester coming home was just getting in school.
Yeah.
And taking some classes.
Yeah.
And my dad told me, when you come home, you got to find something.
Yeah.
So therapy, health, PE.
Yeah.
Exercise.
Yeah.
That's my enjoyment.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll find something that I like.
Yeah.
And nothing against any PE coach, but I didn't want to coach kids.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind training them, but I don't want to coach them.
You were.
I'm still done with the sport itself.
Yeah.
I love to watch it.
But you probably would rather work on the athlete.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so I got some advice for a guy here in town that he's like, "I want you to go to physical therapy."
Yeah.
And so I got into physical therapy school, and I got one more semester, and I'm done. So
yeah. So all right, you end up going down to Albany.
Yeah. I travel 150 miles a day back and forth to school.
Yeah, that's stout.
Yeah.
But it's a stout little ride. But at the same time, the classes you take is pretty much.
Yeah. So they work. They do good because it's just one class.
Yeah.
It's 25 of us, but I get done soon, and I have my own career. And like I said, my fiance, she's about to graduate nursing school next month.
Yeah.
Yay.
That's not bad. Working on physical therapy.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Do what I love.
Yeah, you love it because it's technically it's part of the strength world.
Sure.
You got to have the rehab part of it.
Yeah, and you think we know a lot about what helps us recover.
Yeah.
But now that I can back it with the science and
and
my knowledge,
there's a lot more knowledge to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he'll in turn that even help us in the long run.
It helps everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps everybody. It helps everybody in the long run, but so
because not only I'm sure not only you know what to do, but you also know the why behind
exactly.
it. Yeah. And then you're about to be through that. You'll get your black belt in therapy.
She'll get a black belt in therapy.
Yeah, she'll get her black belt in nursing.
Yeah,
and then
you'll good to go.
You'll be good to go.
Good to go.
But as you come home, it actually freed you up time to start training with us.
Yeah, so I came home and I was weak as water from running.
Yeah. That's all they do is run.
I was strong for an average athlete, but I was nothing crazy. I had weird leverages. I got a 6'6" or 7 wingspan.
Yeah.
And I'm 6'1".
Yeah.
I got a short torso.
Yeah.
It's kind of oddly built, big thighs, big butt, like everybody picks on me.
Yeah.
Got a big old ass. But I think I come home like, man, I probably bench 365.
Yeah.
Probably squat 550.
Yeah.
And strength just took off because that's when Russell and Dash were training hard.
That's right. I seen that at the time before we got to the place we're at now. That's when we was coming down to Tim's and Dino's and and all that, and that's when you started to
so that's when I switched over and just building that base. Man, I built when I came home. I guess I was still 18 right before I turned 19, and I trained hard for 13 months.
Yeah,
and then did Body by George push pull.
That
was my first meet.
That's right.
And my first, my dad's last.
Yeah.
We were both gonna try to bench 7 that day, but it didn't work out real well.
Yeah. Things happen.
Yeah, things happen.
Anything happened at a meet.
Yeah, but I played ball at like 295, 300, and I think I put on about 20 pounds. But I was in the best shape I'd ever been in my life.
Yeah.
And I didn't run a lick. I told my dad I will never run again.
Yeah.
I will never run again as much as I ran.
Oh yeah.
For training, for football training. So.
Well, and with the things that we learned today, especially with the conjugate system.
Oh yeah.
And all that stuff.
There's ways around it.
You don't have to run.
No, you don't have to run as much as they do, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to stay in that much conditioning.
Yeah.
You got to make the guy strong fast.
Oh yeah.
So, but I put on 20 pounds in a year, and just put on as much mass as I could and strength, and to be able to do something.
Yeah.
I think that was when I was trying on the metal squat suit that somebody else's.
Yeah,
I hadn't bought any gear then.
Yeah, you were just trying it out.
I think I got a shirt like in August or something, and or maybe it'd been Russell's old shirt.
Yeah.
I think it was. And man, I just tried out gear and I loved it.
Yeah.
It worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
So until I blew all his blood vessels out and trying on the wrong stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I ended up doing what it was like 10 days after my birthday when I just turned 20. Went 655 and deadlifted 705 at my first meet.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hooked.
Oh yeah.
I was hooked.
Man, first time, man, you're nervous, you build up, especially warming up for the first lift.
Oh yeah.
You get that first lift out of the way, especially it's like
yeah, you're just shaking with
anxiety. It's just like, all right, yeah.
You bite into that and you never turn back.
Oh yeah.
Never turn back. I think my dad was going for that.
He's going for a master's record or something.
Yeah. He had missed 760 before, and I think he was going that range or higher.
Yeah.
Shirt blew out on him.
That's right. That was a loud pop on that.
Oh, it was horrible.
Yeah.
Like a gun went off inside that place.
Yeah, when them shirts blow, man, it's
especially when you blow out of size, 64 or 6?
Yeah.
As big as he was.
Oh yeah.
And he was 6'5", 350 then.
Yeah.
So yeah, it blew. Yeah, but that's kind of where I got started, man.
All right, so you did your first meet. Now are you like, all right, this is it. This is definitely what I want to do.
Yeah, it found that niche that I've been missing because I had never stopped training. I just transitioned.
Yeah.
So I was still training 4 days a week, but it transitioned this heavy training and doing something I actually enjoy.
And definitely putting more focus into it.
Yeah, for sure. Because all I had to do was work, go to school, and do that.
Yeah.
And I still try to do that as much as I can, but yeah, it just put all the focus into it and building the base that I need to build.
Yeah.
Watching y'all, when as I was growing up, y'all build a solid base before you do something crazy.
Yeah, and one thing too, we never really had to. like with your form and everything.
Yeah.
That's one thing I noticed we didn't really have to teach you that much.
Yeah.
Because just over the years of watching,
Of course.
you kind of learn it on your own. Same thing with Ryan.
That's like squat Jesus, Ryan.
Yeah.
You don't have to coach him a lot on form because he's knowledgeable of the sport.
He's been
a student.
even though he never lifted with us for so long, he was, he's Shane's buddy, and he ended up being our buddy and everything. He always come and watch.
Student of the sport, man. You got to just stop and learn.
And just him watching and you watching, and learning. I mean, you automatically just pick up,
Well, and the first thing you do is when you get off the bench is get up and look at Joe or Dad or you or Shane and go, okay, what was wrong? And they tell you look like god awful shit.
Yeah.
Okay, well that was horrible. I need to fix it.
Oh yeah, Joe be the first one like that was the worst bench I ever seen.
Yeah, it was like that day that dude benched like 500 with two bad shoulders and a single ply shirt.
Yeah.
Joe looked over his face and was like, that's the worst bench I've ever seen in my life before the dude could even sit up.
Yeah.
And
this dude
first time.
Yeah, first time in SciFit.
Yeah.
And I think he was he was able to come in and try it out and everything, and just off the bat, just like boom, right into him.
Yeah. So, but I trained trained with y'all a couple days a week then, and stayed here and trained and did as much as I could what I had.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't have a lot, but I make do what I got.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that's the same way when we transitioned from SciFit to Dirty South, we didn't have a lot of equipment at the time,
right.
And a lot of time when we started using the bands and stuff,
right.
We had to do a lot of exercises with bands.
We do a lot of crazy stuff, yeah.
Because you can do a lot, but we made it work.
Yeah, I train here 2 days a week in Hawkinsville, which is about 45 minutes from the gym from Dirty South.
Yeah.
And I lift in the field house with the principal.
Mm-hmm.
I have lat pull down, leg curl extension.
Yeah.
Got an old glute ham and our reverse hyper up there.
Yeah.
And a shit ton of bands.
Yeah.
And some dumbbells.
Yeah. And see that's
and a power rack. Yeah.
Yeah. We try to tell people too. You don't have, even though you might not have all the resources that you want or need to be at your best training, you can still get it done with just a little bit.
Oh, for sure.
You just got to be innovative about it.
So we do a lot of, in the power rack stuff.
Yeah.
I'll do some speed squats raw down here, get my low box in.
Yeah.
But, I come up and train with y'all all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So when I can, when I'm not in Albany or doing this, doing that. But, you just got to make do what you got, man. It just, people think you got to have all this expensive shit to work hard.
Yeah.
Man, I lived in a high school field house that has 15-year-old equipment. We just train hard.
And hot as hell.
It's hot as hell. There's no air conditioning.
Yeah.
There's barely any heat in there.
Yeah.
So in the summertime we take two rolling fans and put them underneath the damn rack.
Yeah.
Because it's so freaking hot.
Oh yeah.
But you just you appreciate the monoliths and the adjustable benches.
Oh yeah, of course.
And the deadlift bars.
Exactly.
And people ask me all the time, how do you improve your deadlift? I was like, well, I try to squat more.
Yeah.
And then they asked me, what's your favorite deadlift bar? I was like, hell, I don't know. I don't pull on it until I pull my opener.
Yeah.
They're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I pull on a stiff bar. I don't make, there's nothing against pulling on a deadlift bar.
Yeah.
It's just, that's what I have to train.
Oh yeah, of course.
I'm not going up to Dirty South if I'm, pulling 550 in bands or whatever, 600 in bands.
Yeah.
To pull on a deadlift bar.
Yeah.
But I just made what I got to do here, and it's worked so far for me. I still train half here, half there, and you get it in.
All right, so you did your first meet was a push-pull meet, and then roll around. You decided to do your first full power meet.
Yeah.
First full power meet didn't quite go so well like you wanted it to.
Yeah, that was the day, man. Geared lifting is crazy.
Yes.
And multiply lifting is just, you've got to be a technician.
Yeah.
And have the right gear.
Exactly. And one thing is, so many people say that geared lifting's dying out.
No.
I personally don't see it.
It's on the rise.
Well, yeah, it's on the rise. Raw lifting became, this, I'd say a fad. Especially when the CrossFit evolution came through, because a lot of CrossFitters converted over too.
Yeah, to do some power.
And plus, raw is technically it's a little bit easier to do.
Yeah,
it's definitely less.
Well, you've done both.
Yeah, I've done both.
You've done both, so you could say. People ask me, "Are you going to do a raw meet?" I'm like, if somebody puts up enough money for me to do a raw meet, I'll do one.
Yeah,
it's a wear and tear on my body.
Yeah.
I'm young, but if somebody told me, "Would you squat 600?" or 700 raw or put 900 on your back with Brees, I'd pick Brees every day.
Yeah, and then you might have a lot of lifters that might want to venture into the geared lifting or want to try it, but they don't because one, they just don't have the money to.
Yeah, it's very expensive. I mean, you're dropping, if you're buying all new gear, you're dropping over G.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, one thing I know we've been luckily about as a group is, we've had all this gear over the years, and we don't ever throw nothing away.
Exactly.
So when somebody new comes on, they can at least try something else. It might not fit them right, but it gives them an idea of what they need to do what they need to do.
And my girl up there over top, Sally, I've had the same bench shirt for going on 4 years now.
Yeah.
I just got me a new one, but man, it's an old SDP double ply.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one I bent 655 in. It's the one I bent 761 in.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same shirt. I've tacked up the sleeves, and that's it. I rolled with it.
Yeah, yeah.
I think when the last meet I did, everybody was like, "Is that shirt gonna hold up?"
Oh yeah.
Because at 600 it cracks.
Yeah.
And I had see-through holes in the sleeves and the collar.
Oh, yeah.
I don't worry about it. You don't worry about it.
Just pray and go.
Yeah, it's gonna go. It's gonna go either way. If it busts, it's gonna bust big.
Oh yeah, big time. We're gonna go all out.
Exactly.
But first meet didn't go so well. Once you
had trouble hitting depth, end up having the wrong gear on.
Yeah.
And that's the day that I looked like I had a tank top on of blood vessels.
Yeah.
I think it took me like 11 seconds to get down from the time I stood up.
Yeah, it took you forever.
It took forever, and I was like, you think you're hardcore or whatever, but I was just doing what I had to do to stay in the meet.
Yeah.
And I think that was the day that y'all looked at me and was like, that's too much.
Yeah.
That's too far.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm just trying to get in the meet.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, definitely.
I think I opened with like 9 or something.
I think that sounds about
right. 9:05 or something like that.
All right.
Revamp it, though.
Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah. Like, after, the meet's over with, it don't go right. What's going through your mind? Are you defeated, or do you feel like, all right, what we got to do?
For probably an hour or so, I've never lost.
Yeah.
That was the first time I really lost at something since I lost the semifinals in football.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it threw me right back.
Yeah.
And the emotions hit. Meet day, your emotions are high.
Anyway, oh yeah.
I was crying. I was mad. I was pissed off.
Yeah.
I mean, if I could have went outside and lit that gear on fire, I probably would have that day. And I remember old Christopher French. He's an older multiply lifter, and he came up to me and was like, "If you do some more sled pulls, you can do this, and this, and this will help you out a lot." And at the time, I'm listening to this guy, but I'm like, if he would just shut up, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And he actually gave me some of the best advice that day.
Yeah.
He's like, "You have days like this," and I'm like, "But I'm strong."
Yeah.
I couldn't get that out of my head.
Yeah. I got you.
So, but no, it was end up. It'd have been a shitty day or whatever, but. I think, were you competing that day? You competed, Andrew competed.
That's right, yeah.
All my boys were competing, so I was, you know what, fuck this, get your mind right.
Yeah.
I took my shit, threw it in the bag.
Yeah.
Went to the room for a minute, took a cold shower, and that's when I found out all my blood vessels were popping like a cherry.
Yeah.
And went back down there and helped y'all out, man.
Yeah. And that's, I remember my first meet I bombed, of course, you don't know how to take it.
Yeah.
Because I was luckily I was very successful when I started out in powerlifting.
Right.
And then after a few years, then I hit my first bomb. It was just a shitty day. Nothing went right. I didn't know how to take it, and then I think Joe, because we were still at SciFit at the time.
Right.
I think Joe saw that, so he got me to go with him to go get food for all the guys.
Right.
And of course, Joe has always got the one-up stories.
Yeah, of course.
No matter how bad you feel, he's always going to make you feel like...
It ain't like you're going to say nothing back to him, you're just going to listen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because he was asking me this. I'm like, well, I feel this and this. So he's like, well, this one meet I did this and this and this. I'm like, well, damn, I don't feel so bad.
Yeah, exactly. He's always done something crazier than us, and that's the good thing about having a coach that's been there, done that.
Yeah.
They experienced it.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing on my family and my dad, and y'all. They were just like, man, shake it off. It's not your day.
Yeah.
You can do this again.
Yeah, it sucks.
Because your only thought getting on the bar is me in this bar.
Yeah.
We got to get it up.
All right, because your first full power meet, you ain't but, what,
I was 19.
19, yeah.
And not secretly, but Shane was one of the baddest teenagers. Him and Hawk were.
Yeah.
And I was going after some big numbers that day.
Yeah.
And I had them all in the bag if I just get past the squat.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't work out well, but end up having a great setback for a great comeback.
Yeah.
That was when I come back and we stripped all the gear off, revamped my whole squat.
Yeah, we basically broke down from the ground up.
Even though it was mostly gear, it was like, let's get you stronger. So
yeah.
What people don't know is when I did that 22-46 right after I turned 20, I did single ply.
Mm-hmm.
It was a canvas suit with single ply boots.
Yeah.
And that's what worked.
Now, all right, I remember after that first meet, and you do it all the time. You're one of the first people that I've noticed how your body reacts to stress.
Yes.
And to change.
For sure.
Because after that first meet, your body blew up. Poof.
Yeah, I gained 15 pounds.
Yeah, just instantly.
Instantly, yeah.
Because your body you put that body through all that stress of trying to get to that meet. And then, so it was like, all right, I need to grow.
Yeah, the same time, like when I was at Kennesaw, they were running us to death. I was gaining 2 pounds a week. I ended up weighing like 312 pounds, which is the heaviest I ever been.
Yeah.
And I was doing nothing but running and strength training for football.
And see, you're one of the rare people I've ever seen that happen. You put your body through stress, it's going to grow.
For sure.
It's like, all right, I got to get bigger and stronger.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, I think I ended up weighing like 325 or something like that. But then I went up to 340, and I was like, what is going on?
Mm-hmm.
But it comes down quick. It's a big bloat. But I'm food sensitive the same way too, like pasta. Man.
Oh yeah.
I eat pasta. I need to tell them what I weigh.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, but I ended up doing the next meet was 22:46 or so. I missed the 2300 by a little bit. The squat was a little, had problems with the bar shaking real bad that day.
Yeah.
I went after 9 once and it wiggled me around or whatever.
That's right. Yeah.
And then on the pull, I think I went for a big pull right there at the end. I just couldn't lock it out. I was too tired. Yeah.
And then pretty much the last full power meet you did, that's when you set your pro total.
Yes. I kind of pace myself in the meets because it's really taxing. And at that time, I was trying to get into therapy school.
Yeah.
So it was work, apply for therapy school, make sure all this stuff done. And I had from January until June to get ready for that meet.
Yeah.
And I was like, before I start school in August, I'm going to set something big.
Yeah.
And I got the canvas suit working.
Mm-hmm.
Got me some good briefs.
Yeah.
Well, what I consider good briefs is not everybody's good briefs anymore.
Yeah.
So some off-the-shelf 2-ply Enzers, and trained hard.
Yeah.
Trained real hard.
Now you're that day you totaled
25:47.
47.
Yeah.
And that's you broke over 1,000 on the squat.
Yeah. 1,050, 51 or something. Yeah. 761 and 733 or 4, whatever it comes out to be.
Yeah. That's for your third meet.
Yeah, I was 21. So if you look back at age, which not a lot of people look back at age, me, Shane, and Hoff are the only ones that ever total that high.
Yeah.
And that was a big goal for me because I watched both of them.
Yeah.
When we go to the pro-ams, I was watching both of them.
Yeah.
And just to be able to say, hey, I totaled 2550.
Oh yeah.
At 21 years old, that was a big mental barrier that I broke. Not that I put a limit on myself, but I surprised myself.
Yeah. Because that was a hell of a day.
It was a wild day. It was a 10-hour meet. It was the Nationals up in Gatlinburg.
Yeah, it was
SBF Nationals.
Yeah, it was a long meet. And you had a real good day that day.
Yeah, everything just came together. I was as prepared technically as I was strength-wise. And that's where a lot of people mess up, man. They don't take the time to fix their technique. We're technicians of the sport.
Yeah.
I like to classify our guys as, if we do it, it's going to be real.
Oh yeah.
You have to question it.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I think I opened with 1,018 or 20 on squat, and I was like, take me to 1050.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
It popped that good.
But it just moved.
Yeah.
It was my day. And for a year and a half, my dad, he benched 735 at 50 something.
Yeah.
And he would talk so much shit to
Oh,
me
yeah.
and Joe, like, which one of y'all bastards gonna take my bench record? every time we miss it, it's like, well, guess you just didn't have it that day.
Yeah.
And that's just another rib at you.
Oh, yeah.
But I ended up opening at 725, I think. Went 761.
Yeah.
And just it was smooth as could be.
Now, did you try the third attempt, or did you just stop it?
No, I called it after that because the numbers would get me.
Oh yeah, heck yeah, though.
And I knew I felt like I knew where I was.
Yeah.
And after doing about 20 pounds more than I thought on the squat, and about 20 more pounds I was on the bench, I was like, if I lose that on the deadlift, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Because the goal was 2450.
Yeah.
Pro total super heavyweight. Because I was having trouble with my body weight then, keeping it up, actually, for my gear.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was training so hard and doing so much recovery, I got down like 330.
Yeah.
And I was training at 340, 345.
Yeah.
So I ended up eating, I think we rode up there with Andrew, and we all stayed together, ate 2 pizzas. It's a 6-hour ride. I ate 2 or 3 pizzas on the way.
Yeah.
And then we ate pizza for 2 days
Yeah.
just to keep my calories.
Oh,
up.
yeah.
I ended up weighing like 340 that day or whatever. And that was the day that Joe DeVere was like, if you didn't hold that first deadlift so long, you probably could have done 750 plus.
Yeah.
And I was like, well,
he's always going to have that.
Yeah.
If you'd have done this, you could have got this.
Yeah. It solidified my total, and I stood up there holding the bar, not in cockiness, but just the fact that I did this.
Yeah. Of course. You just want.
I proved to myself.
Yeah. Even though it was more like, all right, you can put the bar down. All right, put it down. It was almost a surreal moment for you. You just had to feel like you had to take it
in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're almost outside your body looking in a crazy way. But yeah, just take the moment in. So, but that was in June.
And then, all right, you did that. You had a hell of a day. Best total ever. Pro total.
Yeah.
What did it feel like to say I'm a pro lifter?
Man, people have their own beliefs, ways of thinking. What's a pro powerlifter? Are you getting paid? Are you this? Are you that?
Yeah.
It's kind of like the pro lifting thing. I'm a younger lifter in an old school mindset because that's what I grew up in.
Yeah.
That's what everybody wanted was a pro total.
Mm-hmm.
And it was either I was going to get the pro total or I was going to wait till I get done with school.
Yeah.
And so that day it came together, and I didn't realize how much it meant to me, but it didn't mean shit to nobody else.
Yeah.
You're going from the inside, you're like, this is one of the best accomplishments I've ever
done.
Yeah. And at 21 years old.
There's been people fighting their ass off for years to try to hit a pro total.
Exactly. And I come out of nowhere and just busted it off, which, I mean, I don't stay quiet, but it's just, I was just determined to do what I had to do.
Yeah.
And I think it took going to the extreme like that to really realize your potential. Yeah. It was like my dad always told me, if you're going to do something, don't do it half-assed.
Yeah. And it's definitely an overwhelming feeling to know you hit that next level where only a handful of lifters.
Yeah, because I can remember looking at old Powerlifting USA and going, dang, to make top 20, you got to break like a 2,600 pound total.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And to come within short range of that, it helped me mentally.
Yeah.
More than anything. And I don't walk around saying beating my chest I'm a pro lifter, but nobody can take that away from me.
Oh yeah.
It's a number in history.
That's yours. Yeah.
It's a number in history. It's a number I've done.
Oh yeah. Now even though you felt mentally great about it, but at the same time going through that meet, you were physically shot for a while.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say it killed me, but riding home, it's a 5-hour ride or whatever. Man, I set probably 8 ribs back in.
Really?
And I felt okay. I just felt tired.
Yeah.
And I think we came on like Sunday. The next Friday, I took off the whole week like you're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I went back to training on that next Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And like we've all done before.
Yeah.
And man, I felt great.
Yeah.
It was the best squat I hit. I did like 750 with like 250 pounds of bands or whatever in my old loose breeze, and did really good. Popped it up, no pressure, blah blah blah. And then like the next 2 days, it was like I could barely walk.
Oh yeah.
I had like a delayed soreness.
Yeah.
And I'd also gained that 10 or 15 pounds of bloat.
Yeah. Well,
from recovery.
I've done the same thing before. You know, you come off of meat. You know, that maybe that day or day after, you're like, oh God, I'm tired. But then you start to recover.
But it's almost like you're tired, like sleepy tired, not sore.
Yeah. But then, you know, by the end of that week, you're like, damn, I'm feeling pretty good. I want to try something.
You grab something that hurts so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I had taken 2 weeks off, truthfully.
Yeah.
But yeah, it put me down for a while. I'm not gonna lie.
But also at the same time, since you hit this accomplishment that you want to accomplish, now you start to throw a little bit more focus back into school.
Yeah. So that was in June. We went on family vacation the first week of July.
Yeah.
It truly took until all of July, 1st of August, before I was like, I could watch my video and go, I actually did that.
Yeah.
And I've told my dad, and everybody understands it, you know, you accomplish something, you break that barrier inside your own head. It's like, wow, I just did that.
Yeah.
And because I don't do it for anybody else but myself.
Mm-hmm.
This is a challenge for me.
Yeah.
And I love y'all, and I love my guys. I love my family being in it.
Yeah.
But in the same sense, you do this for yourself.
Oh yeah, of course.
And how hard can you really push? Yeah, but I remember we're out in the ocean, and me and my dad were talking. He was like, "You okay?" I said, "Not really." I said, "It's just it's bothering me." And he's like, "What's bothering me?" I said, "I can't come to the sense that I did that total."
Yeah.
I was a kid. I was the boy.
Yeah.
I was your son. I was, watching all this coming on, and then, boom, I did this. Now I've shocked myself.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was definitely hard to overcome. But then, like when we went to the Pro-Am, what was it, first week of August or whatever? It was right before I started school.
Yeah.
And went up there with y'all, and realized some people recognized, like, you're the kid that did this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People pay attention.
Yeah.
They do, whether you realize it or not. People pay attention, and it's just solidified. What we did.
Yeah. Now it's a little bit. Take a little mental break, physical break, but you're still training.
Yeah. I slowed down because I did, like I said, another hard year of training, and pushed my body. But when I started school, therapy school, I didn't know how it was going to go.
Yeah.
And for some weeks, I trained 2 days a week.
Yeah.
And I got, one of our good friends, Andrew Parker.
Mm-hmm.
He sent me over a volume, recovery, just fill out all the little muscles that you've been neglecting. I did that for a month.
Yeah.
And my strength didn't really go down. I just felt weak.
Yeah.
Like everybody does.
Yeah. All right. You're working through school and stuff, and then the announcement's made that the WPO is coming from the ashes, is making its return.
For sure.
The prestige show. All right, and then we find out that Shane got invited, I got invited, and then you get invited.
Yeah.
Now that you made a pro total.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, what did that feel like to know that you got invited to
Man, that was surreal because, we said before, we had 700-pound benchers at one time.
Yeah.
Me, you, Shane, Big Joe, and my dad.
Yeah.
And, I was more proud of the fact that we had 3 lifters.
Yeah.
From our gym.
Yeah.
Get invited.
Yeah.
Not from our state, but from our single gym.
Yeah. Well, see, that's what for Dirty South as a whole. This year, last year too, but this year, it's been a pretty good year for us because
we're doing big things.
We had 2 lifters, Shane and Greg, who got to lift on the big stage at the Arnold.
Yeah, Hunter would have been there. Our strong woman.
She got invited.
She would have been there, but she actually got married that day.
Yeah.
We had them. We got, Hunter McCleskey went over and won South Carolina Strongest Man.
Yeah.
Won Central Georgia Strongest Man.
Yeah.
Hunter, now Parker, has won Central Georgia Strongest Man like 2 or 3 years in a row.
Yeah. So I mean, it's awesome to see Dirty South grow like that.
Yeah,
and to see our competitors and powerlifting and our strongman guys.
Sure. And we support. They support us. We support them.
Mm-hmm.
And we cross over some. We train together.
Yeah.
And we got one of the strongest lightweight older guys there is in strongman.
Yeah.
And he's still top 5 or 10 on 181s.
Yeah, he's still got I think 7th or 8th.
Yeah, top 10
yeah.
all time. And that was like early 2000s when he did that.
Yeah, it was over.
It was like a 8 something.
8. Crap. It was
832, 854.
8. It was a mid to high 8s.
Yeah,
I remember that.
But at 181.
Yeah, 181.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We got several guys that just they really pushed themselves. And we got me being the young buck, we got a group of young guys that are really good coming up, and Big Joe doing his thing.
Now see, all right. Now that this be a pretty big year for you too.
Yeah, it's a crazy year, man. I get married. We're buying a house. Actually, we're buying a house. We're getting married. We actually changed our wedding date secretly because the WPO was a day after it.
Yeah.
Nobody really knows that.
Yeah.
But we also didn't want to have a huge wedding. And then, so we could go to the WPO.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to Hawaii for our honeymoon.
That'd be awesome.
I've got like literally 2-week breaks twice this year, and it's just bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
Actually, the week I get married, I won't be there until like 2 days before I get married.
Yeah.
Because I got finals that week.
Oh, yeah.
Man, it's
going to be a good year for you.
It's going to be a great year. It's just, people either take it with stress or they look forward to it.
Yeah.
I look forward to it.
Now, see, also, in the midst of doing all this, and you're mentally and physically starting to get ready, you're going to start prepping up. I mean, you got your wedding and stuff, but, we're going to all start prepping up for the WPO coming soon.
Yeah,
and I know we're going to all go all out for it.
I started training a month ago for it.
Yeah. You also decided, in your finding your love for powerlifting and just lifting in general, you see yourself not just wanting to compete, but you're also wanting to give back too.
Yeah, I just got go into that.
Yeah.
I just got into actually promoting meets. Georgia's been, and no offense to anybody that's ever run Georgia meets, it's been kind of slack. We're doing push pulls instead of full meets. And Georgia's got some of the strongest guys there is.
Mm-hmm.
And we're traveling 6, 10, 12, 14 hours to go compete at big meets.
And Georgia used to
when we could have big meets here.
Yeah.
We got several raw guys that are, top 10.
Yeah.
Obviously we got several geared guys. We got, the whole thing like that. And actually my first meet that I'm hosting is in 2 weeks. April 28th.
Yeah.
I teamed up with Jesse Rogers. I've known him since I got in the sport.
Yeah. And it's going to be down in Dublin.
Yeah, down in Dublin. So we're going to do a full meet there. I had to cut it off at 40 lifters because, man, it was going to pack out.
Yeah. Well, see, it's one thing I thought was pretty cool. Like, not only are you competing, but you want to give back, and you want to see powerlifting come back in our area.
Yeah, I want Georgia back strong as it once was.
Yeah.
And like I said, we're gonna do that. We're gonna host a meetup in December up in Kennesaw, north of Atlanta.
Yeah.
So I hope we can get guys from Southside Tennessee, surrounding states, because I want to see who the strongest in the South is.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing we're the strongest gym. We're the strongest gym.
Yeah.
Well, we don't claim we're the strongest gym, but we just want to see who's the strongest in the South.
Yeah,
And host big meets.
Yeah.
I'm tired of going to meets in Georgia that are 10, 15 lifters. Like, I judged a meet not too long ago, and no offense to anybody, but I was eating lunch at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, I was
eating lunch at 12 o'clock. Like, usually you're barely done squatting at 12 o'clock at a big meet.
Yeah.
Let's get this thing cranked back up.
Yeah. Let's get some motivation back in.
Let's get this thing popping again. And
then I know eventually, because me and Shane's talked about it, at some point we are going to host a meet at Dirty South.
Yeah, we'll work on that later, but right now it's just let's get this thing cranked back up because y'all support me.
Yeah.
And what we do,
and also another thing, we want to do. Greg host the Central Georgia Strongman.
Do a tandem deal on that.
We want to run a powerlifting meet the same way, and the location he had it at this year. Back actually at our old stomping grounds where SciFit used to be, at the Georgia State Farmers Market in Macon. That
fully covered.
Yeah, fully covered. That was an awesome day.
Yeah, if we could do it at the right time of year, and That'll be awesome to do a outside meet.
Yeah.
You know, it being 70 degrees. You can't complain about that.
Oh yeah.
You can't complain about being in shade and 70
So it's
degrees.
there's definitely some big things coming.
Yeah, Georgia, it's coming. This year we're going to run a couple more meets. But like I said, December, the first week of December, second week of December, we're going to try to run something big.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe we'll have a 100-lifter day or 80-lifter day.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's possible.
Oh yeah.
You know, just get Georgia back on the map, and then next year we're gonna try to do some crazy stuff, man. Just you know, like I said, get Georgia back to where it was. And it should be in my mind, because you go to all these meets and either they don't know you or you don't know them, or like, you know.
Yeah. I mean, they only know you because of social media or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because they haven't got the chance to see you to meet.
Right.
Because not everybody can afford to drive.
Exactly.
6, 7, 8, 12.
Yeah.
You
know, we plan, you know, weeks of vacation around.
Yeah.
You know, that's why we only do a couple big meets a year, because we're spending $500 in room, $500 in travel.
Yeah.
You know, a couple $100 on a meat and food. You know, you're $1,500.
And we try to plan a meet to where we know we can have a bunch of our guys go and have the help.
Yeah, I mean, because at one point, you know, we have me, you, Shane. When I did my big number, it was me, you, Shane.
Yeah.
And Big Joe.
Yeah.
You know, our 4 big squatters. And, man, that was a crazy day.
Oh, yeah.
We rolled in, like 30-something people that day?
Yeah, and we had a lot of help. And it makes a big difference to have the help there.
You've got to have it, man. You can't do multiply lifting alone. You
Yeah.
can't do single play. You can't do raw lifting alone.
Yeah.
You know, safety first.
Yeah.
You know that.
Even though, and that's where, even though it's an individualized sport, when you're on that platform, it's on you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it takes that team effort.
We're 100% a team.
Yeah, to get you there.
100% more. We're a family, you know, first.
Yeah.
And we're a team because we're a family.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, no matter what, we always have each other's back. You know, like with your accident.
Yeah.
You know, Dad catching weight, him and Joe holding it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just, you never know what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
It could happen at 135.
Yeah. And I've actually, I remember back in the day, before I even started training, you know, at SciFit, you know, I was still in high school. I was, you know, of course I wasn't paying attention, and out of nowhere I just dropped 225 on my chest. And luckily enough, I was stout enough, it didn't hurt me that bad.
Yeah, it was like, what, Silas dumped 550 or 85 on his chest?
Yeah.
Or as it was going down, they called, side spots called it.
Yeah.
And, because he was in a single ply OF6 or something.
Yeah.
Katana, you know, tight shirt.
Yeah.
And, man, it just flicked out his wrist, and we caught the bar right before it hit the chest.
Oh, yeah, it can happen at any point.
Yeah, so you know, safety first for sure. Yeah.
What do you think your intermediate and future goals are?
Right now, just getting through this year in the best way as possible.
Yeah.
You know, I hope to have a really good meet at WPO.
Yeah.
I don't plan on doing anything that I don't think I can do.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not going to do anything way out of the norm to put up a good number.
Yeah.
But just, you know, keep doing what I'm doing, man. Just set myself up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, my fiance, she graduates nursing school next month.
Yeah.
3 weeks actually.
Yeah.
And just getting on her feet, get going, you know. But just put something together and give them back. Give them back to powerlifting. Get this thing back rolling good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Have a good meeting at WPO. That way when I'm in Hawaii, I can really enjoy myself.
Yeah.
Because I'll be a mad motherfucker if I can't enjoy myself.
You got that right.
Be pissed off. He said, there you bombed.
Like, damn. Can we just go on honeymoon later?
Yeah. I need to go train.
Yeah. We got to redo this.
I'll punish myself.
We're going to spend the honeymoon at the gym.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, but man, I just want to have a good year and, you know, see everybody grow at the gym.
Yeah.
That's the big thing is, you know, keep the brotherhood alive, keep the gym growing, get as strong as possible.
Oh, yeah.
Get as strong as possible, man. I look forward to what's ahead.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, I do too, because it's just, you know, seeing you grow, seeing Big Joe grow,
yeah,
seeing the younger guys grow,
yeah,
you know, and
sure.
me and Shane, you know, still trying to, you know, get it, you know, going, or keep it going and everything. It's when you sit and try to think about it all, I get goosebumps.
For sure, because man, everything coming up, you can look at it two ways. You can stress out about it, or you can look at it as a challenge that you got to do good at.
Yeah.
And I like to go ahead on a challenge.
Oh yeah.
And I think this year will be a really good year for Dirty South Moorville. We already have Hunter win again.
Yeah. Greg and Shane did pretty well at the Arnold. And then Hunter and Hunter, both of them did good at the Central Georgia.
Our lightweight master guy pulled 660.
Greg?
Yeah, 220.
Yeah.
665.
What was it? 650 or 60 something, and he almost had.
Yeah, he almost had 7. He pulled 7 in the gym several times.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy numbers, and we got things going on. Got new guys in gear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the young kids that they're wanting to they're starting to transition in gear some, so that's making me happy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. Get this training going good. Got folks get married, of course, starting lives, and
oh yeah,
the whole gym's just growing.
Oh yeah,
it's growing good. Yeah, at the end of the year we'll just see WPO. We're all gonna roll in there and see what we got.
Oh yeah, we're gonna take charge.
I'm gonna try to, man. I'm just gonna do the best.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
just
right.
gonna do my best.
Do my best.
What man, it just I enjoy where we're at.
Yeah, it's just a cool aspect of life just to be around.
Yeah, nobody really understands. We're not just I feel this way. I'm sure a lot of people feel this way at the gym. We don't just go in and train and leave.
Yeah.
Like on Fridays. Man, we'll get there at 6, train till 8:30 or whatever. Go get Shogun.
Yeah, and then
I can't tell me nights I've come home at 2 o'clock in the morning. What were you doing? I was just outside talking to the guys.
Yeah, we're just eating and talking.
Just eating and talking. Bouncing new training ideas.
Yeah.
So, yeah, enjoying it.
Yeah.
Enjoying it.
Well, that's been pretty much a wrap on your life.
Yeah, that's pretty much it until today.
Yeah.
That's what's going on right now.
But yeah, sitting here with Devin Wiggins, talking about his life and everything. Sitting here at his parents' house, and his dad David. We're actually going to do an interview with him in our what we call a series of the five wise men of mine and Shane's life. It's a series. It's 5 guys that probably had the most inspirational aspects on our life,
Yep.
And David's part of it. And we're definitely going. We're going to do like a series where we do one at a time, interviews with all of them. Then we're just going to throw them all together one day and just have them.
Man, that's going to be a movie.
Yeah, it's going to be some epic stuff, and just have them just talk about life. It's going to blow some people's minds.
Now you'll get to see what we have to deal with on a daily basis.
Yeah, but it's definitely going to be awesome, and definitely can't wait for it. Definitely can't wait to see what you do in the future.
Yeah, man. Keep pushing.
Oh yeah,
like we always do.
That's right, and we'll see ya.
See y'all.